Welcome back to episode 2 of Foundation Reboot, and in today's episode we will be dealing with expanding into the second parcel of land. We will also build a tax office and create a treasury, which are all important steps at the beginning of the game. So what we're doing here is putting in a lumber camp and a new deforestation area. So what else we will also be doing over the course of this episode is improving the splendour. Now at the moment we still have no villager who is eligible to be a bailiff. That is something else that we need to sort out. Again, we still have nobody that we can promote, so that's fine. We do just need to continue the development of our village so that we will be able to do these things as we go forwards. So as I said, one of the things we want to do is expand into the second parcel of land that we acquired, which happens at the beginning of the game, next to our original area of land. Now, as you will see, we do actually have a fish area at the bottom left-hand corner there. I'm not going to use it for quite some time. And again, something else I will highlight in future episodes is another mechanic that has changed significantly to the point of annoyance. But again, that'll be in a future episode. What I will do, as this series develops, I will link each new episode in the bottom corner at the end of the video. So when it gets to the end of the video, the next episode will be linked, and they are all in a playlist as well, just to make it easier for access. Now these will be going on top of the original Foundation videos I done before all of this content update, as the mechanics of the game have changed quite significantly. We'll also improve the splendour of the market in this episode as well, because as you can see at the top, at the moment we have 25 on our progression tree, but towards the end of the episode we will have increased it by at least 10 up to about 35. And of course our church will be completed over the course of this episode as well. Okay, so at the moment we're running the game at triple speed. I always do this. So I tend to play ahead myself, normal time, everything else, sort all the mechanics, work everything out, and then create the content for you guys so that you're only seeing what you need to see. Now this 22 odd minutes of footage I haven't actually cut, so this is literally running through as the game happens. So our lumber camp has now been built. So what we need to do is assign some workers. So there we go, 2 will do for now, mainly because we only have 2 people to allocate. We've got our 3 builder serfs. We could get rid of one, and then what we can do is assign that person to the lumber camp, because we only need the 2 builders for now. We're not really building anything else locally other than the church, so let's put a 3rd person into the lumber camp so that they can start milling and cutting down that wood. Milling? They're not milling, they're cutting down trees. Milling would be the sawmill for creating planks. We're also going to create a second hunting area as well, because I found that meat production is dictated purely by the number of boars that are in the forest, and their positions and everything change. They do respawn, but I have noticed that only having the 1 hunter and the 1 butchery is not enough to deal with your population, so you do want a second one. So we will get that done over the course of the episode today as well. Okay, so we've seen our desirability, so we know where is desirable to build homes, plus where our residential areas are. But what we also want to do now that we're building a forester hut is decide where to reforest. So we want to reforest the entire chopping area, of course, but we also want to reforest to improve the size of the hunting area that we will make later. So there's that little area with no trees, might be worth planting some additional trees there. Right, at last we've got some new people to the village, lovely, and we do have multiple advices, edicts and privileges, village decorations, and promoting villagers. Now at the moment we're at plus 15 coins, but one of the reasons for the tax office is if you want to have a decent income from your village, you do need taxes. Okay, so here's our hunter's hut, and you can see there are 2 boar, well there's actually 3. There is one in the area where we are cutting down the trees. So let's build this right off at the edge so we're not cutting down any forest by building it. and then hopefully that hunter will be able to get a fairly solid supply of meat. We will have to wait and see. Okay, so again we have our residential area, and over to the right hand side we have our other deforestation and hunting areas. Now let's turn all of these off and have a look around. Okay. Right, our church... Oh no, I thought that was the church finished. No, it's our forester camp. So the forester camp has been completed. Let's get somebody assigned to the role so that he will now start planting trees. And again, as I was talking, we should reforest this area as well, just to potentially improve the hunting grounds for our hunter. So there we go, that's now been expanded, so our forester will go out and he will start planting trees. Now we've got missing resources, that is the butcher, because as I said, the getting of boar is quite challenging. Okay, so we need to plant a decorative bush. It's one of those we can't at the moment because we haven't unlocked it, so we do need to unlock it in the book. So if we go to progression, you have on the common path decorative. So unlock that. Might as well unlock the bridge as well actually, but we'll do that a bit later. And we want a decorative bush. So just highlight everything, and what you'll do is you will take away that exclamation mark. Now it doesn't really matter where it is. Oh, we've got somebody who wants to talk to us. So let's get that built. There we go. We are pious servants of the faith. So our church has now also been completed. Now, as your population increases, one of the other things to bear in mind is you will need to increase the size of your church so that everyone can go and worship. Okay, so here we go, promoting villagers. Finally, we're actually able to promote people. Okay, so you open the list, and we've got a few people who are unemployed. So what we could do is promote. Should we just go with the one for the bailiff? Yeah, I think we'll just go with one for the bailiff now. And we can now assign the bailiff. There we go. And nominate. So we now have a bailiff. There we go. Good stuff. And prospecting minerals and everything else. We've still got advice on edicts and privileges. You can right click these, by the way, when you're happy with them, just to get rid of them. If it's already functions of the game that you're happy and familiar with, just give them a right click for those discoveries and they will disappear. Okay, let's go back to the book and go under the labour tier, and we could do labour splendour, but at the moment we do not have enough splendour, so overall kind of decency of our village to unlock notable, so we need to get to 30 to do that. So we can unlock labour splendour package, which will allow us to improve our market. So we've got these benches here now, the stone ones, and we could put those into the market. So what you do is click on your market, select a function, go to free build, and you can then place down the additional items. So what should we do? Let's put some barrels in maybe into the market at the edge of one of the market stalls. Go with the backrest bench or the simple benches. They both add one, so it doesn't really matter which ones we do, but let's put some into the middle so people can sit down. Now, as you can see, the little green circle around it increases the desirability of living in that particular area. So your village centre is always going to be the most desirable area, but it does mean that you can make additional desirable areas later in the game by just increasing the amount of furniture and decorative pieces. So I think 4 benches should be enough. That will increase us, I think, to the 30 that we need. So if we just click build now, we are at 26. I don't know whether that's going to instantly go up, but people are sitting down now. And we've got 3 more people coming in, so let's get those added to our population. There we go, our population is now at 46, so we are approaching 50, and our splendour and our overall village prosperity is going up, so we are now at 28. We do need to get 30 to unlock notable, but that's fine. Let's increase the size of our residential area so people could build more houses because our population is going up. And have a look at what else we can do. Now, another well is always a good idea for water. When you're expanding your residential areas, see our first well is over by our manor house, so you do want to make it easier for people to access water, and it'll increase the chances of buildings being upgraded by commoners into better buildings as well. Okay, so our hunter's hut, very good. We can employ our hunter now. We actually forgot to do that. That's fine. And is there anything else? Yes, a butchery, of course. And we're going to want to put that not really in the forest where he's hunting. So I think maybe up above the lumber camp might be a good location, because he's replanting trees there anyway. And we want them to cut down in the overall area. So I think that's a good location. There we go. So that will get us another butchery. So we will have 2 running. And one of the things I forgot to do, that I will highlight in a later episode, is put a granary near the butchery, so that the meat that he is preparing can be stored, because I actually forgot to do that. Okay, so we're adding some residential and removing some so that we can build additional municipal buildings. And by municipal buildings, I mean the new taxes, so our tax office. Okay, you can hear people singing and laughing outside. You made sure everyone had a great time. Fantastic. That's all we needed to know. We are at 110% happiness, which is fantastic. And we've just signed a mandate, so that guy will basically go and improve our relationship with one of the factions. It's highly likely to be Labour, as Labour is who we are preferencing anyway. And let's go back, have a look. We could discuss a levy. You can revise privileges and edicts, but of course we don't need to do that because we don't have any yet. And I'm intrigued by the fact that we can go and prospect minerals as well. Oh, look, our first upgraded house has been built. Very good. So that's what I mean by increasing the splendour and everything else, and obviously by promoting commoners, serfs to commoners, you do start getting better housing. Now it costs 20 to upgrade a serf to a commoner, but it increases significantly to upgrade a commoner to the next level. It's 100 coins. So you do need to have a significant income before you think about doing any upgrades of commoners. Okay, the butchery is going along nicely. That will be completed shortly. And again, our lumber camp is doing well. We are getting plenty of wood. So at the moment you can see we've got 72, which is not too bad. But we do need to actually put in a hunting area. We completely forgot to do that. So now the guy can go and hunt, and we'll actually start catching some boar. Now those boar do move around. So you do need to be constantly checking your hunting areas, or just click on your hunter's hut, which shows where the nearest boar are, to ensure that there is someone to hunt the actual animals that are there. Okay, everything's looking good. We will soon start thinking about putting down our tax office, and also, as I said, putting in a treasury to increase the amount of coins that we can hold from 500, because if you don't build a treasury, you can't store anything more than the base amount of 500 coins. So here you can edit and select a function. So you can go to free build and put down some maybe additional decorative items to increase splendour. So a stable increases splendour by 2. Apparently you can put it inside the building, which I found quite interesting, because it means potentially you could build things inside and hide them. A woodshed. We could put a weather vane onto the roof maybe. Is that going to click? Or do we need to actually be clicking on the building for it to go in? So for some reason that's not going in. Let's click on the building, then put the vane on. There we go. That's more like it. And we'll get that built. There we go. So again, improving stuff is always worthwhile. We are at 33, so we have unlocked notable. So we can now unlock our tax office. There we go, and we can actually get it built. So you want to go to your administration, you want a new manor building, and we'll put it near the manor house, and select a function, and you want a tax office. So what are we going to do? We'll use a rustic hall and a tower. Have to use a tower. We'll use a wooden tower for the tax office. A little bit less prestigious than our manor house, but still looking good. That's awesome. And we of course need to add a door as well. If you don't add a door, it won't build. And let's stick a chimney on it as well. And the door, where should we put the door? Should we put it at the side, at the front? Yeah, I think there will do. Actually, no, I don't know about that. That doesn't really look right. Okay, let's move it off to the side. There we go. And looking good. I think so. The only thing we didn't put was the visitation point, so we'll put that there. Don't think we need any other decorative items for now, and I think we can just get it built. Do we want to add a wooden hall? Maybe. Yeah, that actually looks quite good. Yeah, that looks good. So there we go. So we've got the main manor building, a tower and a wooden hall. That will also mean that we will be able to employ 3 tax officers. So tax collectors, we'll be able to have 3 of them. Okay, there's another new villager. Lovely stuff. And now we just need to wait, of course, for the tax office to be constructed. And anywhere else that we don't have maximum employees, we can start adding, because at the moment we've got 6 unemployed people. So that's quite a few. And of course we can now promote more villagers. So let's go 1, 2, and 1 more, 3. It's like I knew that I was going to be making 3 people tax collectors. Who'd have thought it? And that's coming along nicely. I mean, when the game runs at triple speed, everything happens relatively quickly anyway. So we've got this nice house here, occupants 1 out of 2. And again, that building can upgrade at a later time when we get more commoners. Or of course another building may well upgrade, depending. So we're just waiting for the bailiff to complete his work. He's still off and doing stuff. So, and we've got Peternell is our bailiff. So come on, tax office, let's get built. And then, as I said, the one last thing we will do before the end of this episode is assign a treasury as well. And what we will do is we will expand the manor house and we will add a new sub-building. Now, in the next episodes, we will be looking at farming, clothing production and taverns, because taverns now have something called a berry brew. Now that's a brew made from the berries that you harvest, and it's a drink that commoners will drink in the tavern. So it's a very early unlock, because you're unlocking it from the point that you unlock a tavern, which is a change from the original series that I'd done. And it's another one of the reasons that I wanted to reboot this series, because the game has made a lot of progress since I released the first episode of this series that wasn't the reboot. So it's definitely worth including this new reboot, because I think there's a lot of valuable information that is now present that wasn't when I created the series originally. Yep, there we go. We've got another house upgrading. And we're at 37 out of 45. We do have a population of 50 now, so we will need to start thinking about expanding our church so that everyone is able to worship. Okay, there we go. House is upgrading. Yep, I know, I can see that. There we go. We have got a lovely upgraded house, which is fantastic. So let's employ our tax collectors. That's it. We should now be able to put in some tax. So let's put it there and there. So that's going to give us 59 coins a month. So that should start benefiting our treasury. And again, that is the last thing we will do in the episode. So let's edit the building, select a function, and we want treasury. So where are we going to put the treasury? Let's put it... No, I think we probably want to delete that... that little building that we put. Let's demolish that. So click on the spade to destroy a building and destroy, because it was not in a good location. So let's select the function again. Oh, no, so hold on, no, not mandates. We want to, there we go, right, wait, build, select function, treasury, and then we want to throw on a couple of extra rustic halls. So put one there, turn the other one sideways, because otherwise we're going to be blocking the door to the manor house. There we go. And that should be good for now. So 2 of those should massively increase our treasury capacity to nearly 1,000 coins. So I think 480, I think that was 240 per room. I find it funny that one of those great halls can only hold 240 coins. What are they, bars of gold? Not coins, but hey, you know, game mechanics and all that. And again, our residential area is probably worth expanding slightly, just in preparation for as the village expands. So there we go. In fact, we can even just cut out the little area around the builder's hut. And we could even put a little bit below and to the left, but I'm going to leave that. Another newcomer. There we go. Profiting from taxation is some more advice, but we can click on that another time. Okay, so we're literally waiting for the treasury to be built so that we've got extra capacity. And at the moment we're at plus 0 coins, because obviously we're spending a lot of coins building stuff. But we are also at 35 prestige. So our prestige is now at 35, which is not bad. We need to get to 50 for our next unlocks. But we're slowly but surely getting there. There we go. Our treasury is being constructed. So our upkeep is currently minus 15 and our taxation is 15. Plus we've got plus 1 from trade. So we're actually on a quite low balance at the moment. But as I said, that's because we're building something. So it's fine. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is what you need to do at the beginning of the game. So you want to expand into your second free territory. You want a tax office. And you want a treasury. Let's just unlock that wooden bridge, because we never bothered unlocking it before. And there we go. Our bailiff is back from our diplomatic mission. And we got an extra 10 to spend with the labour tier. So that's very, very good. Okay. Until next time, if you're enjoying this content, please do subscribe to the channel and boot that like button. But until next time, all it leaves me to say is good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and from me, Know It All Gaming, good night.